The second supplementary comes from the Honorable Nivot Druchen. The Honorable Druchen.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the Honourable Speaker, and thank you very much to the Honourable President. This follow-up question was originally prepared by our former comrade, Hisham Mohammed, and I would like to extend our condolences to his families. Mr. President, thank you for your response. Are there any timeframes for the ministerial committee that is led by our Minister Lamola? Are there any time frames to conclude their mandate? That is the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Druchen. The Honorable the President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The committee that is led by Minister Lamola has a very short time frame. It is a focus committee, task focus committee. It is not an investigative committee. It is a committee that is gathering information, collating information. When they last reported to me, they had done almost 90% of the work. They were waiting for more information. And as soon as the work is collated, it is upflighted on the Treasury website, together obviously with the work that is done by the Treasury. And so their time frame is limited, and the work that they are doing is being made apparent and public as we move on, because it is being placed on the Treasury website. But they will give a final report, which will also be made known to everyone. They are meant to collate the information and make sure that we know exactly what has been happening with the procurement processes. And other agencies like the SIU, like Treasury, will continue to do their work. It was just this that we needed to clear the decks on from the executive side, that we needed to put in that committee in place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. The third supplementary goes to the Honorable Sheikh Imam.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, my concern is, why do you sound so surprised and shocked at the looting of state coffers with this procurement challenges we have in the time of this disaster? I personally have highlighted over 20, 30 or 40 times in the House that we lose over 200 to 240 billion rand a year as a result of procurement in South Africa. The former chief procurement officer said 40% on goods and services is what we lose annually, Mr. President, in South Africa. Now, I see a lot of discussion is going around dealing with SIU, putting in this commission, that billions of rands are getting spent. Don't you think the solution, Mr. President, is to close that gap? And one of the ways is, yes, indeed, the tender system needs to be open, needs to be transparent, but after it is awarded, it needs to be advertised that so-and-so company received that tenders, supplied examination pads at 9 Rand 19, and then you can see that you're not paying 200 Rand for those things there. So we need to find solutions to prevent this corruption rather than allowing it to take place, leaving the loopholes there and then spending billions of Rand, which we're not recovering, Mr. President. So I would urge you, Mr. President, and I welcome the commission or the committee that you have put, but together with that, let us work together to put in measures. Can you tell us whether you will be willing, Mr. President, to investigate procurement for the last 10 years in this country? And I promise you, you will find 3 trillion Rand, Mr. President, to make South Africa a debt-free country. I promise you that.
Thank you, Honorable Imam Sheikh. The Honorable the President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It's not so much that I was shocked. It is much more a process of saying we need to redouble our efforts to fight corruption and to make sure that we rid our country of this cancer and this virus I call corruption. Now, clearly, this COVID moment, as I say, has given us leverage, the opportunity to usher in a new era, to bring about a new and a reformed procurement system. That will be underpinned by a number of elements. And those elements should be preventative measures. And this is where the Auditor General is very strong, and his work is absolutely necessary. And working together with all these other structures, we will be able to come up with a much more effective and realigned procurement system. So we need reforms. Prevention should underpin that. Transparency should also underpin a new and a reformed procurement system. But it should also be underpinned by good governance. The good governance should include oversight of some sort, oversight by various people and entities that will make sure that when tenders are given, there is that type of oversight. And the transparency and openness must, in the end, be able to close all loopholes, that those who win tenders should know that information about their entities, about themselves, will be made public, and it should be competitive bidding. It should not be closed tenders, as we have tended to see in the past. It should be open tenders where everyone should know that they can bid. Another key element, as I've said, should be the utilization of technology. Technology in the form of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and digital technologies. And if we can utilize these, we will be able to curb corruption, so that be it civil servants, be it political leaders, be it whoever, should know that any form of corrupt activity or intervention will be exposed, will be stopped, and will be found out. So I think we've entered that type of era to reform our procurement system, and I am putting a lot of confidence and hope in the utilization of technologies. Now, many countries that have brought in technology in their procurement system have used it to good effect. I know of companies that have not only solved their procurement woes, but they've also reduced costs. Now, you talk about we lose 40% of what we procure annually. We will be able to reduce this if we rely on technology and artificial intelligence. And we're now going to start a process in government to move in that direction from national, provincial, as well as local level. Because this is a technological age, we cannot continue utilizing procurement systems that belong to the ice age. We must explode into the technological age and utilize the most effective methods of dealing with corruption. And in that way, it is fair, it is empowering, it will be able to achieve the objectives that we seek, empowering the women of our country. As we've said, we want 40% of procurement processes to empower the women of our country. We want young people to benefit, and we want black entrepreneurs and companies to benefit. So all that will be easily much more achievable when we use technology. Thank you very much.